Hi everyone, Jackie here with Enjoying Life's Journey. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another monthly budget with me. We're going to be budgeting out our zero-based budget or every dollar budget in our Excel sheet for the month of May 2020. Now, if you've been following the channel, I was laid off from teaching Zumba and working at the YMCA after school program in the middle of March. I have yet to been approved for any type of aid in that regard, and then Ricky was recently put on unpaid furlough. So we have applied for food stamps and we've applied for unemployment for him. So originally I budgeted May as if we had no income coming in other than half of my self-employment of the YouTube channel. And then we actually got notified that we will be approved for food stamps and he will get the unemployment. So we're going to go ahead and budget May with his unemployment, the best that we can estimate, because we've went ahead and said to withhold our taxes from the unemployment, that we don't have to worry about it later, and we'll go ahead and budget with the food stamps in there. So we'll see what it's like. Now, if we didn't have everything in time, we do have an emergency fund. We do have enough in the emergency fund to cover 2 months worth of expenses. As well, we pay for the next month, most of the next month bills from that month. So April, we've already have set aside for basically the first 2 weeks of May. Any bill that would come out the first 2 weeks of May is already covered from April's budget. So we're basically 2.5 to 3 months, we have the amount of money for that. But we lucked out, everything should be coming into play. So let's jump on the Excel sheet and see what are things going to look like. All right, so here's April. Usually what I do is I take April and I'm going to copy and paste this to make my next month's tab. I also have a yearly budget template right here. So what I did was I went ahead and budgeted May and June as if we have those changes. Now, Ricky's work said that he would be on unpaid furlough for about a month, but I went ahead and planned for 2 months of this situation just in case. So up here, normally this would be his base pay. I went ahead and put on here next to his base pay, Arizona unemployment, MJ, so May and June. So he is going to get $240 from state every single week. So that's what that is. I went ahead and just did 4 weeks. I don't know if he'll get this. I'm filming this on April 26th. I don't know if he'll get a check this week or if it will be like the first week of May. So I'm going to budget as if 4 weeks. Plus, I don't know what day of the week it is. So sometimes normally his payday's on Friday, so I can see, okay, are there 5 Fridays? Are there 4 Fridays? But I'm just going to do May and June as if there's only 4 weeks of whatever pay it is. And then under where this is normally his overtime pay, I went ahead and here put federal unemployment, which is the CARES Act, and he does qualify for the $600 a week there, so $2,400 there. Now this right here has basically replaced his regular income of his base pay. He normally would make about $820 a week, and now he'll get about $840 a week. But if you see here, they usually always have overtime. So this is going to be as if there's no overtime. Myself, again, I lost my income. So I was averaging, if we took these 3 months, I was averaging maybe about $700 a month. And you can see here, I put on here food stamps for May and June. We are qualified for $646. We are a family of 4, and we just came in shy of the income requirement because I did have to put on there that Ricky would have that he would be receiving unemployment. They basically took what he would be making minus, rent and a few other deductions that they're allowed to do. They do a calculation off of it, and basically we qualify for this amount. So we do qualify basically for both of these until we report the change of him going back to work. So as of right now, I just did May and June. We'll have to see. So this is what I do ahead of time. I budget it out so I can kind of get an idea what is it going to look like. And then we go and we do the actual monthly budget where we have every single week or payday to budget for. Okay, so I just wanted to show you this that I've kind of planned ahead already. So like I mentioned, we're going to go to April here. On the bottom, we are going to right click and we are going to move or copy, create a copy, and then we want to put it next to April. This is going to come up. You just keep hitting yes until it's done. So now I'm going to rename this to May. So then obviously up here, first thing, I don't know if you guys can see this, my head might be in the way, but I'm going to change April to May. Now paydays, again, we normally say Fridays. I'm not sure what the day is going to be, so I'm going to go ahead and just subtract these out. If he gets paid, I'm estimating that's going to be on Tuesdays because he files his weekly claim on Sunday. I think they'll get logged on and process it on Monday, and then I think it will be paid on Tuesdays, but I really am not sure. So we'll have to see. So the first thing we need to do is obviously delete out the income. You can see from that April one, let me go back to April real quick. So you could see what we had made. So he had his work, he still had $500 worth of overtime. My health of self-employment, I originally thought $214. I ended up having more. Side job selling items around the house, we made $400. Cash back for the Discover was $33.39, and then we did get that tax stimulus check for $3,400. So you can see here we still invested $300. We put $1,700 into savings. We put $50 into my Roth IRA. Ricky still gave $20 out of his pay. You can see our taxes, our health insurance. These are home projects that we did around the house. Groceries, personal care, household items. These are starting to just stock up on a little bit of things as we can. Regular bills, so our phone bill. So all these that are orange, you can see that are orange right here. Those are all the ones that we have the money for May. So these will be coming out the first couple weeks of May. So we have our electricity, our water, our truck, our car, we have a little bit of gas money left, our insurance, and then the tags are due, the registration is due. I've already paid for the registration for my vehicle, and now we just need to do an emissions test for Ricky's to do his to renew his tags. We didn't pay anything extra to debt, and then we spent about $138 eating out. We did purchase, I put this as an event, we purchased a tent, a big 3-person tent for $337. We have our Netflix and our PlayStation, and then we did put $169 towards our vacation budget. We have the money aside now, and we'll just have to see how that plays out, if we still go on a cruise at the end of the year or if we change our plans and just do something different. We'll see. So sorry, I just want to recap that for you guys there. So to reset this for every month, I make all of these red again. And then these ones I'm going to gray out because I only want to open up the ones for the particular week that we have. All right, so we'll work down that as we get down to it. So now the letter that he received from the state unemployment, they said that they're going to take 10% out for federal taxes and 10% out for state taxes. The $600 from the CARES Act, they will take out the federal. I don't know if we need to fill out another piece of paper, but he already filled out a piece of paper saying, yes, take out my federal and state taxes for the Arizona. They said that they can take out federal from the 600, but they can't take out state. So I'm going to budget as if they're doing 10% out of the 600 to federal anyways, and then we will kind of just see what those numbers end up being. So obviously this Ricky is not his full-time work. This is going to be AZ unemployment, and this is going to be the Federal CARES Act. I'm just going to say that, okay? So we know that each week, we're going to say just 4 weeks is going to be the 240. We're just going to do 4 weeks, and then 600. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and open these up. Now he might get paid this week as well. I'm not sure. We'll have to see how it ends up being. So now we know that total is $960, and this is $2,400. Okay. My part-time, obviously, I'm not working part-time right now, so that doesn't work. Half of my self-employment though is I budgeted that I will have $241.36. So we'll put that in, 241.36. Now I usually get paid around like the 21st or 22nd, so I'm just going to go ahead and plug that in. That's roughly going to be probably this area right here. Side jobs, selling items. I don't know. I don't know if Ricky's planning on doing anything. Cashback, this is from our Discover card. I'm just going to estimate $30. So we're just going to line this up with this first one. Again, we don't know the exact dates yet. If I'm going off of Fridays, though, like if this was the first, like we normally do, then it might be more like this check. I don't know. And then this we're going to average our interest on our checking account, or savings account, sorry, for that. Okay, so that's what we're planning on. Now let's see if we're going to need to use any savings. Oh, and we have food stamps we need to put in there. So mine, instead of this, we're going to say food stamps. 646. I'm just going to put it with this first week. I'm not sure what day that payment will come through officially. Like I mentioned, Ricky's that's not coming from him, so we need to take this. We normally have it calculating 8% to the 401k. We're just going to put 0 because he doesn't have any income from his employer, and we'll just put that here for this part. Now normally we're trying to pay ourselves first 9 or 12%. I'm not going to do any percent up in. I'm not going to worry about any percent in there right now. I'm just going to leave it where it is. We're going to come back to it. We're going to do a zero-based budget just off the monthly thing. We're not worried about percents this month. So again, we're not going to put anything into giving this month either. Now federal taxes, like I said, we're going to put out of these two, so 2 and 3, we're going to take out the 4, and we're going to change this to 10%. And click away. Okay, so that would be $336 for the month. So I'm going to take this across. So about 84. I gotta make them red again. Now, Arizona. I don't know. Oh, sorry, this was going to be out of just the first one. 10%. This is the way it goes. Alright, so Medicare, Social Security, I don't think they're doing anything like separate from those. I like the 10% for federal, I don't know if they're gonna divide that up between all of those, and that's why it's just 10%. I don't know. So we're just gonna put 0. Also, we are not contributing to our family life insurance during this month. And long-term disability, we are not doing anything this month. Now, I'm not deleting the formulas out completely because once everything's back to normal, I still want those formulas in there. Now, health insurance, we do not have to pay for the health insurance, but we are still covered. So that is a huge relief. Otherwise, we would apply for insurance through the state if we had to. Alright, so home projects, take these out. So groceries is the food stamps, the $646. So that's obviously higher than we normally do for groceries. However, if you look at how much we spend eating out, in general, we're still spending $600 to $650 on food. So we just will not do any eating out, and it'll be all groceries. So if we feel like we want something that's easy and ready to make, well, we can't go eat out, but we can go get a pre-made sub at, pre-made sub or pre-made salad at the deli or frozen pizza or whatever. That's what we'll end up doing. And again, I'm just going to mark that with the first week of the month. I don't know the exact date yet. I don't know if I put anything in this part of the budget yet. We'll come back to that. Alright, so I'm going to delete out the other bills because we don't know which paychecks those are going to be coming out of yet. Now, we don't need registration anymore. We covered that. Registration was due in June, but we covered it in April, so that really helps. I'm just going to make these brown for now. Alright, so these are our base bills that we have every month. We have Ricky's cell phone, we have our solar, our water, the truck, the car, gas, Insurance. So gas, because Ricky's not working, we're just going to lower it to 100 just because we don't know for sure what we're going to do. We're not going to do any commission jobs for the girls for the month. Down. So these bills we have automatically, the PlayStation and the Netflix. So now we just got to see out of each paycheck, see how much money we have, what we're working with after taxes and all that. So the bills, right? So we're going to have food. Usually what we do is we try to budget the gas money right away as well. Like I said, we're not eating out. So the next bill, so I'm just going to go in order when the bills are due then. So this is due on the 17th. These are all like the next month. This will be at the end. This is like the end of the month before the next month, so we'll do this one next. Same thing, these are due like on the 1st or before the month is over, like towards the 28th, 26th. So we want to make sure we have that first. All right, now we'll come in to these and see where we're at. So we should be able to do part of the car payment. So 234.46. All right, so now I need my handy dandy calculator to see. Okay, 369.83 minus 234.46. So we still need, we'll need out of this next paycheck 135.37, and then we will need to start putting the money aside for the car. So we can actually do the full car payment. So normally, if you guys watch, I normally put money into savings. We usually pay ourselves 12% out of every single paycheck. Things are a little different right now. So I want to make sure all of our bills are paid first. Normally I do not do this. Usually I pay myself, we pay ourselves first. But because we have our emergency fund for the next 2 months and we're getting unemployment, I just want to make sure our bills are taken care of. And then that way, if Ricky goes to work, if he goes back to work by the end of May, then we can go back to normal next month. So we'll just have to see how that goes. So now we can also do on the second paycheck, our paying, this is automatic into our Roth IRA. And I can stop that contribution if I want to. It's automatic. I'm going to leave it going for now. Oh, you know what I'm missing? Almost the most important one is our mortgage payment. So we just refinanced the house, so we did not have a mortgage payment for May. So now we will have a mortgage payment for June. So we want to use that money, for that. So that mortgage payment now is $100 less than we had before. So if you see here, our mortgage payment used to be $1,141. Now it's $1,040. So $1,040.34. $1,040.34. I knew I was forgetting something. So yeah, we're not doing this yet. Okay, so first thing we need to do, now we need to cover that. So that's going to go probably, I'm going to say, out of the next 3 maybe. So $96.90. Then we have $973.34. Or 36, I think. 36 is what I said. What I meant to say. Yeah, okay. So let me close this one up. Alright, so now this is already this is already more than we need actually, so we don't need that much. So we're going to take this out and do, so if we had 1040.34 minus the 96.90, then we need 943.44 to make our first mortgage payment for the refinance. Then, because we normally would pay an extra 100, we want to make sure we're paying at least an extra 100 towards extra on the mortgage anyway. So that's what we're going to try to do. I think I budgeted for 200 actually, so 170.08. And then I was going to we're going to budget for this. Okay. And then what's left here is going to go into savings. So we already have enough in our emergency fund for a couple months, but we want to make sure we're still putting some in there just to be on the safe side. So now I can come back here and put that in. Now, I'm going to talk about this extra debt payment here in a second. Now, this extra debt, we are not going to actually pay it on the debt yet. We're going to put the money into savings first. That way, if something else happens, or, you know, we still have that cushion. But when everything's said and done and things are kind of back to normal income-wise in the next couple months, whatever we have put aside here for extra debt payment, as long as we're still good with our other categories, then we'll go ahead and throw that at the extra debt. And the other option is to continue with some of the house projects that I mentioned in our live stream that I shared with you last Sunday, or basically on Sunday, we talked about some of the home projects that we had. So this is going to go into savings. Ideally, it's going to go as extra debt, but we'll just have to play and see how it is. So if you look, normally Ricky would have overtime, and basically they replaced my income with food stamps. That's fine. But normally Ricky would have quite a bit more of overtime, anywhere from $5,000 to $2,000 worth of overtime. So normally we would have about $300 going to investing, and we would have insurance. We'd have health insurance of about $300 or $400. So that's pretty much the only thing that's different from this budget from previous, is we're not investing $300 and we're not paying for health insurance. So, and we're not giving anything extra yet. So again, anything that's for the emergency fund or debt payoff, that's going to go into savings. It's going to sit tight until we ride this out. Zero, we've budgeted everything. We've told it where to go. So if you're interested to see how our budget looks normally, then you can take a look at last month's budget plan and see how it compares to what our budget looks like now with having just unemployment and food stamps. So you'll see what our budget hopefully will go back to once everything is said and done. As always, thanks for watching. I hope everybody's doing okay out there and you've got your budget set up for May. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye.